question on Stonebridge.
Yeah.
I had to, after the last meeting, Kenny mentioned it, and I went up and took a look at it. It's severe, to be honest with you. I talked to TJ about it, and I think we need to do some geological sampling study, whatever you wanna classify it, to make sure there's.
A lot of it is settled back down.
Yeah,
I was up with Kenny last week.
Yeah, I haven't, only time I was up, it was cold, it was up. But I'm not sure there's any, what,
It's like a lot of the roads where the
yeah,
potholes
it's
and-
cracking, heaving, whatever, but TJ and I discussed it, we're not really sure what's underneath the paving,
Mhm.
right? And maybe we need to take a couple samples or something to get some, idea what, where the road surface is sitting on.
Well, when I was up there, it was raining. You could literally see the river of water coming
Yeah.
down between those two
Yeah.
houses and right exactly into the spot where the big spot is up there.
It's up at the cul-de-sac.
So there's definitely water drainage coming down there.
Well, they did some I had talked to Kenny and TJ that, it looks like there may not be the proper drainage that was installed originally, right?
Yeah, I also stopped there, drove both Stonebridge and Stonebridge. There's probably, I don't know, 6 to 10 inlet boxes on Stonebridge as you go up the hill there towards the cul-de-sac. And I looked in each one of them and I didn't see any under drains for the roadway, which is indicative of a problem. You know, that water, as it comes off that hillside, doesn't have anywhere to go. It works its way down through the road, and you know, or as it comes off that hillside, it impacts our road. It gets into the stub base, and when you have a 0-degree event like we had in January, there's considerable freezing and heaving, and I haven't been there, Carl, since you mentioned it had kind of come back down, but when I drove it, it was pretty bad. It was pretty wavy, and there's a lot of, you know, big ridges and humps, and you know, there's essentially up near the top, near the cul-de-sac, there was a bump all the way across the roadway that looked, basically it was a speed bump.
It looks like a giant hole.
So you're all suggesting that may be a fair, an extensive project to redo all that work up there?
Yeah, I think it could. I mean, if we have sub-base issues with that roadway, it will be an extensive repair, yes. I think there's a couple pieces of homework that we can do here to figure out exactly what we're dealing with. The first thing is, do we have any as-built drawings here in the township building that show what was built by the developer and turned over to the township in the 90s? It would show what our paving profile is, and if there are any under drains.
Cuts and all that stuff that depict whether.
The storm sewers, and I would hope there's some drawings here. I know that information was those roads were turned over to the township in the 90s. I think I've seen a Ferrero engineering drawing that shows the extent of the right-of-way that was turned over. So if there is any information on what exactly we're dealing with out there, that would be a great place to start to see what the problem might be. And then secondly, like Larry suggested, it might be a good idea to take an auger up there and punch a couple holes and see exactly what the sub base is, what pavement thickness are we dealing with, and that sort of thing. But I think we need to do some homework to know the extent of
What
the
do we
problem.
need to do? Dennis authorized with the motion to have them do some preliminary study, Banks engineer?
A motion to authorize banks engineers to take the necessary steps to investigate the issues with Stonebridge Drive, is that what it's called?
That's right.
That's your motion?
That's my motion.
That's the top.
Yeah, but there's cracks all the way down
It's
that
all
road,
the way
right, Carl?
down.
Yep.
That water comes down there.
It basically starts beyond the store.
Yeah.
I'm sure TJ will use his common sense.
Yeah.
Is that part of
Yes.
Railroad Street's another component of this. The township's been in contact with the power company and the Verizon as well regarding relocating those poles, so we could potentially look at widening the road. I think we need more information from both of those, the power company and Verizon, to know exactly what we can do there. And we're expecting that information from Lacey Stratman, her name is the contact that we're dealing with First Energy. So that road is it's not a good situation. The top of it where it plateaus is pretty deteriorated. There's the issue with the proximity to the railroad. It's taken from the name, so again, we need a little more information on that issue too.
So-
That's going to be something that we need to address.
So if Larry would amend his motion to include the investigation of Railroad Street, is that what I'll do also?
Sure.
With common sense.
I'll do my best.
2 for 1.
So you're making the motion to
I will
authorize,
I'll correct my original motion and make the alternate changes.
Investigate both roads.
Absolutely.
with common
With
sense.
common sense.
Okay. Larry made the motion, do I have a second?
Sure.
John? All in favor?
Aye. What's the timeline on getting that information?
Which road? From
Let's talk about Stonebridge. That sounds like, we don't have any third party involved with Stonebridge. We do with the railroad street with the telephone company or whoever, right?
I don't think it should be too extensive to look for the drawings and take a machine up there and maybe drill a couple holes. So,
What would
I-
that cost?
huh?
Cost of it, what would that be about?
Well, I would think the public
Or a
works crew
machine.
would be able to
Oh, we
do
have a
that,
machine that can
right?
do it? Okay.
It's called a post-hole digger.
Minimal engineering, if any.
It's already on machine.
So,
I think we have the capabilities in us.
Larry, I think we could have a much better understanding of the problem by our first meeting in March.
Yeah, I see the need to maybe accelerate the completion of some of these projects.
Yes.
We have a lot of projects.
Right.
Okay. Regional appeals,